With a WWE career seemingly over and more, this is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we move on, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Rambles with notifications on, and don't forget to like the video. As he is training in MMA for his role as Mark Kerr for the Smashing Machine movie, The Rock had this to say on Instagram.
All right, Monday, May 6th. Yes, Monday, May 6th. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in this crazy world. First of all, thank you so much for all the birthday love. I appreciate it so much. My birthday was May 2nd, a few days ago. Taurus baby, which means we celebrate all month because we're hard-headed that way. But thank you so much for all the birthday love. I really appreciate it. And just finished cardio, my morning cardio. Thank you so much for all the support too as well. Your comments and your support for my starting my second training camp for a film that I'm doing, Smashing Machine. Written and directed by Benny Safdie, and our studio is A24, and playing the role in the life of Mark Kerr, UFC heavyweight tournament champion, Vale Tudo champion. Anyway, it's my second training camp. As you guys know, I had a training camp for WrestleMania for 12 weeks. And then I took 10 days off, and then I started this training camp. And anyway, I just really appreciate all the support, because this is very new to me, even though I grew up in the world of professional wrestling, and it's crazy and it's fucking hard to do. And you get suplexed around, and you're on the road, no seasons, wrestling 250 days out of the year when you do it full time. So, but this is new. Combat sports and MMA is new to me. I have a base in wrestling from pro wrestling and a little bit of amateur wrestling that I did, but this is a whole new world. And I approach this with just a boundless amount of respect for the fighters, the men and the women, and especially, the OGs, the godfathers, like Mark Kerr, Mark Coleman, by the way. Mark, I got your message, brother. I'm going to hit you back. Thank you for the love, too, as well. But anyway, just thank you guys so much for all of it. I really appreciate it. Working my ass off. This is truly a team effort. To be able to do something like this. So working hard. A lot of you guys, a lot of you want to know, especially you who are used to MMA and combat and just athletes. You want to know what my training is, what my cardio is. Well, I'll give you the brief rundown, and then I'll go through it in more detail as the days go on. I wake up in the morning. I do cardio on an empty stomach like I just did. When I wake up, I have a little bit of caffeine, maybe 100, 150 milligrams, maybe 200. Have some aminos with that, and a probiotic, and an hour later I'm doing cardio. Did 40 minutes today of interval cardio, I guess somewhat high intensity. It all depends on how you want to categorize it. I'll go 45 to 50 seconds on the Stairmaster at level 14 or 15, and then I'll bring it back down to level 7 or 8, and I'll recover for the next 2 minutes. So it's basically almost a minute high intensity and then 2-minute recovery, but where you're keeping a really nice steady state. My heart rate averages at about 135, 140. Sometimes I kick it up to 145 as well. Sometimes, all depends on what music hits. That final 10 minutes after I hit 30-minute mark, then I kick it up even more. So I do that. I'm done now. I'll go home. I'll eat breakfast. I'll get some more work done. And then I'll eat again my lunch, and then I will come back here to the gym and train on the weights, and then I'll have my post-workout shake. Oh, and then after my workout here on the weights, I do another 15 to 20 minutes of steady state cardio. Don't have to go that intense because I've already been training pretty intensely for the last 60 to 70 minutes. So by the time I hit the cardio here, my heart rate is already at a nice accelerated pace, so I could get right into it. And all this, so I do that, and then after that, I'll go have my shake, my post-workout shake, I think it's easy. It's the stuff that you guys probably do. 2 scoops of protein. I do a powdered carb. That's about, I would say about 35 grams of carbohydrates. About 35 minutes later, I'm eating my meal, my real meal. I'll get a little bit more work done, and then I go down to my MMA training, and I'll get in the cage, and for about the next hour, 90 minutes or so, I'll become a student of the game, and I'm having a fucking blast, by the way. Can't thank all my coaches enough, and everybody in the UFC, by the way, from Dana to John Jones, Dan Cormier. I mean, just everybody. Thank you so much, Jorge Masvidal. Thank you, brother. Everybody. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it, and I hope to make you proud. And so yeah, so back-to-back training camps from pro wrestling to MMA. And we start shooting in a couple of weeks, and I cannot wait. And yeah, all in honor of the life of Mark Kerr and all the men at that time who, no holds barred, ushered in MMA when it was like the wild fucking West. And have nothing but love and respect. So anyway, thank you guys. 6 minutes of your life you're never going to get back. All right, thank you for the support. Have a productive week.
When it came to WWE wanting to host Backlash in Paris, France, Post Wrestling reported that Paris was indeed the first choice, but with the Olympic Games less than 100 days away, not one building was willing to accommodate them for a 4-day stop, counting 2 days for installation and disassembly. Ringside News added that with the Olympics scheduled from Friday, July 26th to Sunday, August 11th, 2024, venues in Paris were preoccupied and unwilling to accommodate WWE's 4-day festivities, which included setup and teardown days. Moreover, Getty's analysis suggests that WWE Backlash likely targeted venues with capacities under 16,000 seats, given its record-breaking gate. Despite the change in plans, WWE Backlash in Lyon, France proved to be a resounding success, underscoring the fervent support of WWE fans and marking a significant milestone in the company's history. With him recently being released from WWE, Jinder Mahal expressed his desire to be a babyface in pro wrestling.
So, historically, South Asian wrestlers, Indian wrestlers, wrestlers of Indian heritage, have always been portrayed in a stereotypical way. And I think that needs to change. You know, we each have our own identities, we have our stories, we want to share those stories. And I think now is the perfect opportunity for me to introduce a new character, not so much a character, just be myself. I'm Canadian, I'm proud of my Indian heritage, Punjabi heritage. I definitely want to have elements of that to represent my culture and who I'm proud of. But one thing that I missed out was having a babyface run. I think that would have been really good. You guys are getting a chance to see my personality through TikTok. I just recently did a Chris Van Vliet podcast episode. I got a chance to be myself, and the response has been overwhelming. You know, I guess nobody ever saw this side of me. And yeah, I'm excited to show more of it in the future. Definitely, I think there's a time and a place for a big Maharaja babyface run. So let's make it happen.
On X, AEW revealed that Kenny Omega would be on the show tomorrow for an announcement, writing AEW Dynamite tomorrow night, May 8th, Edmonton, Alberta, live 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, TBS Network, after the beating he sustained last week in his hometown of Winnipeg at the hands of the Elite. What will EVP Kenny Omega's important announcement be on AEW Dynamite tomorrow night? recalling his feud with CM Punk where Paul Bearer's death was used to further the storyline. The Undertaker said this on his 6 Feet Under podcast. Everybody was a little uptight about bringing that to me, thinking it might be disrespectful. I was like, are you kidding me? Paul would love the fact that even after he's gone, that he's still part of the story in such a vital way. That was the year I did the appearance at the Hall of Fame and paid honor to him there. They got their hands on the urn. I just knew, Paul being Paul, he would love still being part of the involvement and the angle. I don't think he would have felt like it was disrespectful. It was cool and one of those deals where you motivate yourself. I want to tear this down for him. That was my motivation. Paul would have loved to have been a situation standing across from Paul Heyman. I'm proud of that match. I thought it was really good. In a video on X, Sam Adonis showed off a clip of him in the ring with his brother, WWE commentator Corey Graves. Remembering his late brother Owen on his birthday, Bret Hart posted this message on Instagram. I had a wonderful dream 2 days ago. Owen came to me briefly and his big smile instantly made me smile too. He was ribbing me and I was surprised that he almost got me again. I woke up smiling. I think of you in my happy thoughts, often seeing you in the highest and farthest corner of a room. Your warm blue eyes and expressions of amusement and reflection. Sometimes I hear your voice behind my right ear or while driving down the highway. Just so you know, I know it's you. Revealing details behind his latest gimmick in AEW, Chris Jericho had this to say on the Kevin Carius show. I just started doing this learning tree gimmick a few weeks ago. That's the best thing about wrestling. When people start to get mad at you, you turn into a bad guy, and when people like you, you turn into a good guy. This is the start of this whole new persona as we continue the story. That's the most important thing about wrestling, the story. The matches are important, but the characters and the storylines are what really draws people into watching you and draws people into following what you're doing. To me, that's always been the most important thing. Asked about the meaning of the learning tree, Jericho replied, the teacher. I've been doing this for a long time. I thought, what's a cool way to personify that and make people mad? I've been doing this at a high level. I thought I'll adopt this persona of being the seasoned vet that teaches the rookies the ways of the game. That's how it started and the way we've portrayed it. People get really mad at me for it. That's what you want. By being the seasoned vet who knows everything that makes people mad at me. That's wrestling for you. Mentioning that he is open to having an extended run in AEW, Rob Van Dam noted on his one-of-a-kind podcast, I would like to think that I'm open to any conversation. So anything's worth considering. Let's hear what you got in mind, whatever. But no, I don't have any of those talks. What you see is what you get, and that's all anybody is talking about. All anyone is talking about doing, let me put it that way. After news broke of his broadcasting contract with WWE came to an end, it was noted that Jerry Lawler is under a Legends deal with the company. Now, Lawler has said this about the situation, telling Mike Johnson, one other thing that a lot of people wonder about, my career has probably ended with the WWE, and it's just one of those things that goes with my getting over with all of the stuff that happened with the stroke, and it was my just sitting behind a desk and doing it, commentating on a match again, was extremely difficult. As Ric Flair recently revealed on X that he was kicked out of a restaurant, the co-owner of that establishment, Pisano Stone Fired Pizza, has responded telling the Gainesville Sun, we have reviewed video of the incident that took place recently at our restaurant. It is clear that our team worked in a professional manner to ensure the safety of guests and staff. We have thanked our team for their professionalism. We are proud of how they responded to this situation, demonstrating our team values. Speaking of the video, here it is.
Yeah, good. Well, I did anything wrong except spend money and put this place over and bring my family and friends here. That is bad for you.
Why would it be bad for me?
Well, watch social media tomorrow.
I don't follow social media.
Well, you better.
I don't get stuck on my phone.
What's your name, job? Nicholas what?
Hold on.
Nicholas Dickhead.
You don't have to call me like that, sir.
Don't ever talk.
You don't have to call me like that, sir.
You don't have to do this to me. If you believe me and my family.
I'm not removing you.
I didn't do one thing wrong. I walked into the bathroom.
And you cuss at my kitchen manager.
Oh, you're a kid high cost. Really? What world do you live in?
No, same world you
What
live
world
in.
do you live in? How did I cost him? Did I touch him?
Cuss him. You said cuss word.
I never say a cuss word. You know, is that his word against yours? I didn't say one cuss word.
Okay.
God. No, ma'am, I'm going to give you $1,000 tip just to say to him, kiss my ass. If you walk outside
You
here,
don't have to be disrespectful to me, sir. We're being
I
disrespectful
know.
to you.
You're disrespecting me.
How am I disrespectful?
Telling me to leave.
I'm not telling you to leave, we're just telling you that you're cut up.
Oh, I'm cut off and I'm drunk? Really?
Yes, sir. It don't matter if you're famous or not. It's the
Here,
same
ma'am,
experience.
ma'am, please give yourself $1,000 tip. $1,000 tip. This guy and I are so cool. She and I are cool. And along comes dipshit.
You don't have to call me like that.
I said it.
I never did.
I'll say it again. You're a dipshit.
You have to get out of here right now.
Oh, I'm leaving. Trust me.
Thank God.
I won't come back again.
Thank God.
Come outside here and talk to me like a man.
I'm not going to do that because I'm on the clock.
You push you are. You're on the pussy clock. Stop.
Hey, you want to go out and talk with me in the park? I don't work here. I don't give a shit. Don't talk to me.
What's that?
You heard me.
What's that?
Stop, okay?
What did you say to me? What did you say to me? Oh, I brought my whole family here.
I need one of those little bar straws for that spin.
You know how many?
Just one.
Just one?
I'm not mad. I have no reason to be mad.
When it comes to the chances of Jerry Lawler heading to AEW, Ringside News wrote that PW instead reported that Jerry Lawler has officially parted ways with WWE. Sources suggest that WWE quietly chose not to renew Lawler's broadcasting contract, marking the end of a partnership that began in December 1992 when he made a surprise debut on WWF Primetime Wrestling. It was further noted that the contract with WWE expired at the start of 2024. Many fans have expressed interest in seeing Jerry Lawler reunite with Jim Ross in AEW. However, Fightful Select reports that this is unlikely as Lawler hasn't been following AEW or any recent wrestling. Jerry Lawler is still recovering from the stroke he suffered last year, which has affected his speech, and he hasn't wrestled at all for a year, the first time in his career he's taken such a break. The report suggests that Lawler is most likely done with in-ring competition. We have also reported that Jerry Lawler is currently under a Legends deal with WWE, so his making his way to AEW was already hard to achieve anyway. Regardless, we'll have to see what the future holds for the WWE Hall of Famer. Following his main event match on Raw against Gunther, Sheamus would receive a standing ovation from fans in attendance. In some unfortunate news, a professional wrestler has passed away, as Ringside News wrote that it's a known fact that the world of pro wrestling is a harsh and unforgiving business, and many talents have passed away in recent years. The independent wrestling community is mourning the loss of one of its most promising stars, Dick Dynamo, who passed away at the young age of 26. Dynamo, real name Brandon Holman, was known for his electrifying performances and charisma, having made a name for himself in prominent indie promotions such as MCW and Combat Zone Wrestling. Maryland Championship Wrestling's statement reflected the depth of the loss felt by the community as they took to their official Twitter platform and shared the incredibly sad news of Dick Dynamo's passing. With a heavy heart and a complete loss for words, the MCW Pro Wrestling family mourns the loss of Brandon Holman, better known to fans as Dick Dynamo. Brandon was the epitome of hard work and was never one to shy away from a challenge. Our thoughts, prayers, and deepest condolences go out to his family, friends, and loved ones during this difficult time. CZW said on X, CZW is incredibly saddened and devastated to learn the passing of Brandon Holman, better known as Dick Dynamo. Brandon was an incredibly unique and enthusiastic energy in and out of the ring. His hard work, dedication, and love will be unbelievably missed. We would like to send our thoughts, deepest condolences to his family, friends, and loved ones. For anybody out there who feels like the world has left them behind, you are important, you matter, and you are not alone. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.